Well, first day of full camp always brings a lot of excitement. Everybody's here. Everybody's gotten their physicals done, and we're ready to roll. It's good to get everybody under one roof. It's been a long off season. Guys have been working out on their own. Been really excited about the way everyone has reported to camp. Everyone's in great shape, ready to roll, which is that is tremendous. And now we get to do it together. And start coming together as a team and putting that preparation in for the first week of games in Seattle. So we're excited and looking forward to getting the ball rolling today.
And you got your note cards ready for your speech? Nervous?
Always butterflies. But I think one of the benefits of this team is that it's a team that's been together for a while and they know each other, and there's a lot that. We know about each other, but this is a day to kick it off and get it started, and I think a lot of times it's not so much the message that you deliver today; it's the messages that keep getting delivered throughout spring training and on a daily basis, and that's where the important stuff lies.
What were those messages like for Lou then? If it was the first day and then the daily messages, how are those for Lou?
Well, I think it was very apparent. What he believed in, and he let us know that every day, and we got prepared every day to play. So,
what are some of those messages that you want to get delivered on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think just the things that have made us successful in the past. The things that made us successful down the stretch, offensively, the things that continue to make us successful on the mound. Those are the things we are going to continue to press on. And all the different areas of the game, our defense, all those messages continue to get pressed, our base running. Those are the things that, you have to continue to get touching those on a daily basis and making those a priority. And that's how we win ball games here, and that's what we're going to continue to do throughout spring training.
You mentioned these guys know each other. How key is that comfort level? I think Aaron and I talked to Luke Raley, and he said that's huge for him last year. He was trying to figure out who these guys are, and this year he just has a comfort that he can be who he is.
Yeah, I think it's huge. When you can come into day one of spring training and it's not a lot of nice to meet yous. It's more about how was your off season, how's your family, and you get right back into it. Baseball's is really interesting that way. I think you become a family over 162 games, and what we do here in Seattle, the amount that we travel, the amount that we're together on a daily basis, it becomes a family. And so when you get together again at a time like this, it really does help that you have a prior relationship, and it's like getting back. It's like a family reunion, and now we get to go to work again. I think these guys are comfortable working together, and there's not a lot of that needs to happen.
Danny, the young players are so excited, and what do you tell the young players the first day of camp? They can't make the team the first day or whatever, but what's the message to them in particular?
Yeah, there are a lot of young players in this camp, and we got a lot of prospects in our organization, position player-wise, and they're ready to go. And they got down here early, as did a lot of our position players, which I think is another testament to how they're getting ready to go. I think the message is just be you. I think oftentimes, especially as young players, we try to maybe do too much, or we try to come in and be something that we're not. But just be you is the thing that these guys need to do, because they're very talented players, and getting a chance to play in these big league games in spring training, it's going to be great to get them some experience out there. And I think just being themselves and let their ability take over is what you want to see.
You knew it was going to be a pretty quiet off-season in terms of transactions of free agents, trades, things like that. And you obviously were really busy with the coaching staff and everything, but just how do you feel about this group essentially kind of like running it back, so to speak, and how much did the final 5 weeks kind of play into those conversations?
Yeah, I think I feel very confident about running this thing back. And when you look at what we did down the stretch with this group, it gives you a lot of excitement, gives you a lot of hope for starting the season. And our hope is getting them prepared here in spring training for that 162 games. And when you go to battle 162 times, you've got to be prepared. You got to have your physical preparation, your mental preparation. There's even spiritual and emotional preparation that goes into a season because you give everything you got. And this group is willing to do that. We saw that at the end of the year. We saw them, their resiliency, their ability to fight. They gave everything they had. And so getting them ready to do that now again 162 times this year, knowing they will do that, it's going to put us in a good position.
Dan, we talked. Well, Bryce shared a little bit about your conversation because Bryce likes to share things. But he mentioned just how much you talked about the team aspect. Baseball is an individual sport within a team frame. I mean, but he mentioned just how much you impressed about an approach to winning the game and being a team to win the game. Is that something you're going to talk about? I mean, because he talked about twice when you miss it by one game, you go back and think of all the times where you could have done something as a team that would change that path.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, and baseball is unique that way. It's a team game with a lot of individual interactions, but you play together as a team, and I think when you're talking about guys that know each other, that helps because they're a team already, in terms of their relationships. But I think this is what baseball is. You have to do the little things. You have to do all aspects of the game, and it's a teamwork. It's team effort each night out. Each night you take the field, I know these guys know that, and they have been willing to do that. And when everybody individually gives everything they got to the team, that's when the team really takes off.
From your experience, how much does a hitting coach affect players, individual players, and why Sites? Why is he a good fit?
Sites is he's got incredible experience as a hitting coach. I remember him as a player being a great hitter, uses the whole field. And a ton of experience in Atlanta as the major league hitting coach there. Obviously bringing that same mentality here, which is really a great extension of what Edgar is teaching our guys as well. And, that's what Gar brought towards the end last year, the idea of using the whole field, taking a little bit more of a different mindset when you get in the batter's box, offensively playing a little bit more of a team game. That's what he brought. And that's what Gar is going to continue to bring, and Sites is going to be another voice in that area as well. And Bobby Maggiano's the same. He's been with Sites the last, I think, 5-6 years in Atlanta. So, they're used to each other and comfortable with working with each other. So that's the voice. Is again, doing what it takes, doing the little things to offensively to help this team score runs and win games, and that's what all those guys are out there for.
We talk about it being a team sport, but yet you have a center fielder in the name of Julio Rodriguez. Just your expectations for Julio this year.
Yeah, I mean, Julio, obviously, one of the better players in this league, and he's put the work in this offseason. He's ready to go, and with all our guys, I think we're looking for all of them on a daily basis to give everything they've got, and I know he is looking forward to having a big season. I know having him up in the lineup like we had him or late in the year last year, what he did when Gar came in offensively was spray the ball all over the ballpark, and when his bat touches the ball, it's 110 miles an hour off the bat, and it doesn't matter where it's going. It's going to be a hard hit ball. So he does it on both sides of the ball. The defense has been outstanding. So I just look for another great season from him, and looking forward again for all of us to get started, get these 3 days going, the preparation, and then start getting into the games on Friday.
And when Julio last year, when he made a few minor, swing changes or technical changes with Edgar, but a lot of it was approach. When did you see it start to click for him, where he started to embrace what Edgar was saying, and then you mix in a little changes in his stance and everything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if I can remember a specific date or time, but I do remember seeing a lot of balls go to right field and on the line and hit them hard. And that's, to me, where I mean, he was beginning to use the whole field. And like I said, when it comes off his bat, he's going to be able to go out of the ballpark in any part of the ballpark. And so just seeing him use the whole field, that works to our advantage and to his advantage in a big way.
He's a kid that's had a lot of pressure externally, and probably he puts a lot of pressure on himself to kind of represent this franchise. You know, the struggles he had last year, it seemed like it wore on him, but isn't that kind of the rite of passage for every player, that you have to kind of go through it once or twice to figure out who you are and how you get past it?
Yeah, I mean, I think every player goes through it. Every player has expectations on him, and at some point in their career, and you know, it's a part of what we do. It's a part of you know, a player's journey is understanding how to work through that, how to play through that, and I don't think it's unique to Julio by any means. This is you know, it's a game that you have to go out 162 times and be the best player. You know, be 100% of you every day out, and that's tough to do. And there's expectations on that, and that's what players have to put up with every day. So, but all our guys do it. They you know, like what we saw towards the end of the year was that they went out there and they left it all on the field for, you know, for a stretch drive, and you know, I'm excited to see them start that here on March 27th up in Seattle and do it all the way throughout the season.
How much does Edgar's consistent presence, having been through, you know, not necessarily face of the franchise, but through those big, huge moments, and to kind of be there to help guide Julio through some of those situations?
Yeah, I mean, I know they've connected so well, you know, definitely in the hitting department, and you know, the thing, you know, I always say this about Gar is, you know, the message that he brings is powerful, but it's the way in which he delivers it, and I know our guys appreciate that. And you know, Edgar comes at it with such humility. He comes at it with experience, like you mentioned. So you know, it's like the old E.F. Hutton commercials. You know, when Gar talks, people listen, and you know, he brings that consistent, solid message every day to every hitter. And you know, again, with Seitz and Bobby here, that's going to be a continued message that they're going to continue to hear, and it can only help our offense on a daily basis because they're all hearing the same thing.
Danny, what's the program for the starters in the early part of the spring, first, second time out?
Yeah, first 3 games, we won't have any of our starters going, but then we'll be starting those guys after that point. And yeah, we'll, you know, just kind of ramp them up as we have in the past. Probably get them, you know, probably a pitch count or an inning count, depending on how that goes, and then we'll just keep stretching them out as best we can. You know, in spring training, because we have a lot of extra guys, especially early on, you have the ability to kind of you know, add some starters to your rotation early on, and make sure everybody's set to go. So that's kind of how we're going to approach it here first couple days.
Dan, can I get a scouting report on Randy's hair?
Randy looks great. He came in here, you know, when I mean, when you come in here looking like that, he's. I was really excited to see him yesterday, and you know, a big smile. He looks like he's put in a lot of work in the off season, and he looks great.
It's tough. I mean, it was tough for him to get traded to Seattle. He'd known Tampa for most of his career. Like, he had his success there. He lived there in the offseason. To come all the way across the country, do you think he's kind of embracing it now a little bit more, now that he's been a part of it, knows the guys, like we were talking about, just in a better spot mentally than compared to where it was at the beginning of last when he got traded?
Yeah, I think you know, obviously when he came over, you know, he made a big impact on our offense, and you know, I think that's pretty well documented. And you know, coming and doing what he's done in the game, his first 4 years, has been pretty impressive with the 2020s. And yeah, anytime a player comes over to a new organization, it's difficult. I remember getting traded, and you know, you're having to learn everything. You know, new people, new ways of operating. And it's always difficult at first, but I think you're right. I mean, getting those, you know, 3 months in with the club last year, getting comfortable with the guys here, and then having a very similar team to come back to this year, I think is a great thing for him, and he's a lot more comfortable with the way in which we do things here, and you know, I'm excited to see you know, how he gets started, because you know, what he brings to our team is pretty phenomenal.
You had mentioned about the importance of Edgar and his presence with the team. You have another person in the clubhouse there, a guy named Ichiro, who's a Hall of Famer as well. What's the meaning? What's the importance of his presence for this team, and what do the Mariners expect out of it?
Yeah, I think Ichi, what he has achieved in this game is amazing, and I'm super excited and congratulate him on his Hall of Fame selection this year. Well deserved. But having him around, anytime you have someone who is that dedicated to the game, who brings the commitment to the game that he does, that anytime you ask him a question, you're going to get an incredible answer to your question, because he brings so much experience to that, and having him around is it's awesome. These guys have an incredible resource. They have a Hall of Fame resource in Edgar, but they also have a Hall of Fame resource in Ichiro, and we consider ourselves very lucky that these guys like being around, that they like spending time with our guys, and he has been tremendous that way and given a lot of his time to this organization, and definitely makes us better on a daily basis because of it.